Hi, my name's Nev from the New Negroes Film Society, and I want to talk about some of the problems that I've found with film festivals and how I believe that they contribute to the exploitation of our work as filmmakers and artists. I believe that film festivals devalue the work that's created by filmmakers, especially short films, but generally all films, okay? And I don't believe that they intentionally do this, but the economics behind how film festivals function actually prevents us from advancing, and it especially prevents us from being able to make money off of our work and really sustain our lives and our income in future works. A film festival functions by the filmmaker usually submitting an entry fee of maybe from $10 to $80 depending on the festival for their film. You work tirelessly as an artist to create your film, and then you have to pay someone else. You have to pay the festival to for the mere consideration of screening it. Some of the festivals you submit to will reject your film, and so you end up losing a bunch of money. And then the ones that do accept you, they are not paying you for the rights to screen the film. There's just an understanding that they have the rights to screen the film, and then in a lot of cases they do keep a copy of the film for whatever purposes. And on top of that, they don't pay you to screen the film. A lot of cases they don't pay you for travel expenses if the festival is out of state or if it's out of the country. They're not paying for the filmmaker to even be there at the festival. You have to pay for that. Then they end up charging an admission fee at the door. So they'll get hundreds and hundreds of people if it's a great film. And you don't get any of that. You get zero profit off of that. So essentially, they're profiting off of your film. See, the thing is that I understand that a lot of artists don't create for profit. I believe that a true artist is somebody who creates from their heart and their spirit, and they use whatever resources they have, or they're just trying to get their voice heard. And express themselves. So I understand that a lot of artists have this understanding that we're supposed to just bite the bullet, and that we don't need to get paid for our work. In a lot of cases, I would say that if it's a grassroots project where no one's getting paid, everyone's a volunteer, and you're just creating something for the passion of it, I completely understand that. But a film festival is actually created and designed, or it's supposed to be designed to support your work and to exhibit your work. They would not exist without you. They would not exist without your work. And all of those people usually are getting paid. And they sustain themselves off of your work. And what they do is they sell you a dream of having your film exposed to a wider audience and having you be able to interact with that audience. And these are all things that you don't need a festival for. It's also a new age. You don't need to pay $80 to have exposure for your film. If you wanted to, you could just put it online and either regulate it or just make it available to everyone. And you could screen it in different venues. There's a whole host of different things that you can do to distribute your film. And I just don't want people to think that film festivals are like the holy grail of filmmaking, because they're not. And they actually, a lot of times, they end up putting you in a lot of debt. And it's a lot of times the value that they're giving you, while I'm not saying that you're getting nothing, it's not enough for the work that you've created. I believe that as artists, we just do way too much work for free, and that's not because our work is not doesn't have any monetary value or any value whatsoever. It's because other people can get away with exploiting our work for free, because we've been told that we don't need to make money. Oh yeah, we can just continue, being a barista for the rest of our lives. We can continue in our service jobs for the rest of our lives. And there's a whole glamorizing of the starving artist thing. That shit has to come to an end, because it's fucking hard to a lot of people to manage your art and a job at the same time. And we deserve, if we make quality work, we deserve to get paid for it by people who have the money to pay you, and or who are set up, or who are supposedly supposed to be supporting you. We deserve to get paid. Okay, again, festivals try to sell you the dream of exposure, but a lot of times, what kind of exposure are you getting? You're getting exposure for more festivals, more of the cycle. So you have to break the cycle by doing something else. There are, of course, exceptions to the rule. It's not all festivals are the same. Some festivals, though they are very rare, they pay you screening fees to screen your film. They will accommodate you with your travel expenses. They will provide certain benefits or certain exposure benefits that don't cost you a dime. And I personally was invited to screen at a festival in New York, which is where I live. And so it didn't cost me anything to get there. And all I got was, I was entered into a competition to win $1,000 prize. And even though I didn't win, I did actually get the opportunity to interview for my film on Manhattan Network cable television. And I also got, a very nice audience. It was a great screening. And, a situation like that, I don't think that filmmakers should pass up. That there are festivals that are passionate about supporting filmmakers and that they do provide benefits, but there are literally thousands of festivals. If you go on, Without a Box? Go on Without a Box, check the whole list. There are thousands of festivals, and a lot of them are just trying to make money. And a lot of them they're not equipped with the infrastructure to really support filmmakers the way they need to be supported. If you're a film festival and you don't have the infrastructure, work to get that. That should be your goal. Don't have a film festival that, is not going to support the filmmaker. There's no point. Wait until you have the infrastructure before you put yourself out there as a legit film festival, because it really helps. In my case, just for some more background about, where I'm coming from, I've run the whole gamut of different ways to distribute my film. Generally I do self-distribute. I released my first feature documentary early this year. It is about Black women in the Civil Rights Movement. So it has both artistic and educational elements in it. And it was attractive to both universities and the educational realm and the educational market, and also the festival circuit. And as well, I have also four-walled the film a few times and promoted my own screenings, and they were all very successful. And I've also had distribution offers from educational distributors. So I've run the whole gamut of distribution. And even though I am still just starting out, I dip my feet into different areas. So I kind of have an idea, at least in relation to my film and some other films. I was caught between a place where on one end I have people in the educational sector saying, we'll pay you hundreds and thousands of dollars for you to screen your film and educate about these issues, because we believe that this is an important topic and this needs to be discussed. The other side, I had people saying, you need to pay us to screen your film. We're not paying you shit. And oh, by the way, you can foot your own expenses, and you can pay your own way for the rest of the thing. And we're gonna need this copy, and we're gonna need it in this format because this is how we run. Knowing that there were people who were willing to pay 2,000 times as much for my work versus people who are willing to put me in debt for my work, I guess I just had an idea of which way I should go. Now, I mean, I don't submit to festivals unless they specifically invite me, and unless it's free and I see that I'm going to be receiving some sort of benefit from it. And I think we really need to be more discriminating with that. instead of just assuming that, oh, festival accepted me, yay, I'm a chosen one. No, not really. I mean, they're going to charge admission at the door, and they're going to be making money from your film because your film is really great, you know? Um, and by the way, I will also say that, for the times that I did four-wall the film, I either broke even, or I made, a small profit off of it, which, making a few bucks off of one screening, um, if you have a great team to work with you to help you promote the film, if you really work hard to build those connections, it can really pay off, and and you get the same experience as you would if, with connecting with the audience, as if you were at a festival. Only with this, it's only for your film. Um, Same thing with distributors. I've had some distribution deals offered to me, or distributors being interested in my film. I kind of want to make the money that I want to make from my film. I kind of want to make 100%. I don't really want to make 20%, because you know why? Because I worked on this film for a really long time all by myself, and there weren't any distributors there to help me. If they weren't there to help me along, and they didn't have their foot in the process, and they didn't look me up to find me when I was trying to do this, try to help me get it done, why should I give away 80% of my profits to a distributor? That's just the way I see it. Um, put in the legwork for people who really want to try to make the most of their film. Put in the legwork, and if your film is good, people will want to see it, and you will get the exposure you need, and there will be buzz generated, and there will be profits made, or profits made monetarily or otherwise. Just make sure that you are smart about what you're doing, and research your choices very well, and research your options. My next film, granted, it's not going to be in the educational market, probably. I was like, well, how am I going to make money off this film? If it may or may not be in the educational market, maybe not, because it's not completely a documentary. It's kind of weird, kind of experimental, kind of factual, you know. And I also don't only want people in educational institutions to see it. So how am I going to make money off of this film if it's not in the educational market? I'll tell you one thing, it's not going to be from festivals. And I'm going to have to cross that bridge when I get there. But I just wanted to put this message out there, and I hope some of you will think about this. And it's pretty much all I have to say. Peace.